Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres Podcast YouTube page. If you could do me a quick favor, see that little subscribe button at the bottom of your screen? Go ahead, click that subscribe button. Really does help our channel grow, our audience grow, and I really do appreciate it more than you know. So click that subscribe button. Appreciate your support. Now, here's the video that you came here for. Alabama, I'm batting my eyelashes. I am in awe of the Alabama Crimson Tide basketball team. Okay, so Alabama opening night, final score in their game 110-54. So how does Alabama come, open a season, the most anticipated season in school history, coming off of a Final Four? Oh, with a cool 56-point win. And with Alabama, man, first of all, it's crazy to me. I still go back to 4 or 5 years ago in the pre-Nate Oates era. I guess it was 6, 7 years ago at this point. But my buddy Ryan Fowler hosts radio in Tuscaloosa. He would not let me talk Alabama basketball on his show. He was like, no. We ain't talking basketball. We'll stick to football, Torres. Let's break down the LSU game or the Auburn game or whatever. Now, he actually texted me during this game. He said, can you come on Wednesday or Tuesday, a day early, so we can do some football but some basketball as well? I said no, because I got to go vote, civic duty, whatever. Alabama is so good, okay? And I tweeted this out. Alabama, I said it and I mean it. They're Noah's Ark. They have two of everything. Like two name. And I said this when the roster came together in the spring. I named them the number one team in the country. And by the way, Alabama fans, I'm going to own this. I chickened out. I didn't pick them to win a national championship. I'm a freaking idiot because that's the best team that I saw all day on Monday. Now listen, UConn didn't play. Arkansas didn't play. There's BYU didn't. There's a few teams that haven't played. But I am here to tell you, that team is so good. First of all, this is all you need to know about the game, okay? This is a game in which Mark Sears was really good, 20 points. But the difference is if Mark Sears wasn't great last year, there were games that you just couldn't get the job done because of the way the defense couldn't get stops. Well, you hold UNC-Asheville, and I know we don't want to overreact to a UNC-Asheville game. You hold UNC-Asheville to 54 points in this game. 6 of 26 shooting. They revamped the staff. Nate Oates had an opening, and he said, I got to get me a defensive guy. And I think there is a total difference in how they play on the defensive side of the basketball. The defensive side of the court. I was going to say defensive side of the field. Wrong sport. Beyond that, I think it's very interesting. 2 blocks for Cliff Omoyori. Listen, this is what stood out. Is that last year, Alabama didn't have a paint presence, okay? There was no paint presence for Alabama. You got past the guards. The next thing you know, you're finishing at the rim because no disrespect to Grant Nelson, they just didn't have that big guy. Well, Cliff Omoyori comes in. He finishes his Alabama regular season debut as the team's second leading scorer, 16 points in this game, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks. You know who really impressed me, Alabama fans? And I saw Nate Oates gave him the hard hat award for the toughest player of the game. Aiden Sherrill, the true freshman. Another guy. I know his history and he was highly rated. I was not familiar with this kid's game. Okay, he's listed at like 6'9", 6'10". That kid's got to be a solid 7'1". He's huge. He is huge. He covers a lot of ground. He's athletic. And he did all the little things in this game. Like, you talk about a guy that I don't think he's going to be a breakout guy this year, but he will be a backup. And then next year, probably a star on this team and in this program. 6 points, 9 rebounds in his Alabama debut. I'm telling you, man, that kid is big and he's good. The other thing that stood out, the guards out. Well, first of all, Jaron Stevenson, he's an NBA player. Like, a couple things stood out. The depth, Aiden Sherrill, Jaron Stevenson's just an NBA player. 6'10", hangs out on the wing, shoots threes. He's a bucket. He was great in the tournament last year. But then beyond Jaron Stevenson, the other thing was the guards. Is that Mark Sears had to do a lot last year. I don't think as much is going to be on his plate. You know who actually really impressed me? Producer Matt, cover your ears. Producer Matt's an Auburn guy. Aiden Holloway played really well. Aiden Holloway was a guy who could not shoot last year at Auburn. Now, if you remember, when he left Auburn and he committed to Alabama, he said something to the effect of, I just want to play for a coach who believes in me. Not the greatest endorsement of Bruce Pearl, but we love Bruce Pearl on this show, so we're not taking sides. And I'd probably take Coach Pearl's side on that one, but that's neither here nor there. But Aiden Holloway looked really good. He finished with 11 points. He actually played 24 minutes off the bench. So they really played their guards a lot. Also had 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He hit a couple threes. The other thing that stood out, like again, the shooting was really good. He played well, and then LeBaron Philon played well as well. This was a 4-star guard, was committed to Kansas, decommits and goes to Alabama. And I'll be honest, I thought the kid was going to essentially be a redshirt candidate. Like, I didn't think he was going to play. Oh, no, he looks the part. I know I've said that like 8 times on today's show, but the kid looks really good. Another one, I just was not as familiar with his game. I knew the background. I knew how good he was, but 10 points and 9 assists in his debut. So just think about that. Mark Sears scores 20. Omayori scores 15 with a near double-double. Your backup center has 9 boards off the bench. Your secondary point guard finishes with 9 assists. Your third point guard, 24 minutes off the bench. I don't know how Nate Oates is getting all these guys minutes. And by the way, didn't even mention Grant Stevenson. Jaren Stevenson, Grant Nelson, who only had 2 points, in 15 minutes in this game. I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, I said it in the spring. I'll say it again. Alabama basketball, they are Noah's Ark. They got 2 of everything. I haven't even mentioned the 3-point shooting, which they only took 18 3-pointers. Shows you they can be a different team, but they looked awesome. They get the win. 6 players in double figures for Alabama as well. 7 players in double figures, Alabama's the best team that I saw. Period. End of story. Somebody just said in the chat, they're a well-oiled machine.